All right. So from the beginning, like I said, I'm Joseph, a PGY2. I'm with Greg and Sarah. Greg's PGY2 as well. Sarah is a incoming PGY1 for us. Just starting off, I'm taking the place of Audrey, who couldn't make it. She is also a PGY2. So we basically had the entire PGY2 class that was going to be here to represent for us. As you can tell, we all get along. We try to help everyone out as much as we can. We're from Geisinger. We're in central northern PA, and we'll kind of go through and show you what we have here. So moving on. So our program is a categorical program, and we're really excited that this upcoming class is going to be the first one that actually we're going to match for our residents. We have been matching three up to this point, but we finally got approval to have a fourth resident on board. So super excited about all that. Our program coordinator, Eric Weaver, handles a lot of our daily tasks that go on, trying to coordinate everything for us. He does a great job. One kind of trend you'll see with our program, I think everyone kind of speak on, is that the staff is very amiable and very helpful. It's one of the few places I've been to, even if they were at medical school, that you can reach out and talk to pretty much anybody on staff. Even like our PD, like you just give them a call, text them, whatever. Like they're more than happy to let you know, talk to you, help you out, whatever you need help. The attendings are all fantastic, willing to help you out, teach you things like that. So that's always kind of nice to have that general support with the program as well. We've graduated three classes so far, and we've had a lot of success coming out of them. You know, we're a fairly new program, so it's great to see a lot of our residents going on to fellowship programs. We've had several that have moved on to sports, for example. Got some really good positions in sports. We had someone that matched interventional pain last year as well, and a couple others, I believe. We also have a lot of just general physiatry coming out as well, people that wanted to stay in the general field, work inpatient, as well as a couple of combination units where they could do EMGs, general inpatient, as well as hospital work. So we kind of have a variety of background coming out. We have a general mix of MDs and DOs, and we are ACG accredited. And that picture has Dr. Rosa, our program director, looking snazzy as always. So we are located in Danville, Pennsylvania. It's a very rural area, so that's something that we do want to let people know of ahead of time. Some people like the rural areas. There's a lot to offer, a lot of things to do. However, if you are used to city life, for example, you are very invested into like New York City, you're going to find that there's a lot more peace and quiet here, a lot more crickets and wildlife noises. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that we don't get a lot of things going on. Surprisingly, Danville seems to be a hub, a mecca for just random pathologies that we see. We actually get a lot of influx on from New York, a lot of influx in from other cities as well. So we do see our fair share of a lot of just general pathology that you get at most major medical centers, even though we are a smaller program. We encompass a very wide area. So Geisinger has actually set up a very large like helicopter network for the EMS, and we take up a lot of just space of all of central Pennsylvania that we kind of cover. Always reaching out over to Philly, reaching out kind of just everywhere. So our reach is really big, which is good. We are a level two trauma center. The main hospital itself has around 600 beds. We do have several branches as well. So that's something that we have that some other places don't necessarily have, is that we have a lot of satellite hospitals all the way down. We have one in Origsburg, we have one in Bloomsburg, we have some in Shimoko, we have like a VA option as well that we can go to. So we have a lot of different places, which allows different interactions with other residents, other staff, just gets us a lot of variety in our education, which is really nice. And there you can kind of see the map of where we're at and kind of all the different hospitals and places that we are connected to. So we cover a large area. So we are a categorical program. So everyone stays here. You get to stay with us for a lecture starting your first year, which is nice that you get to, talk with everybody, get to know the team. PGY 1 year is actually at our kind of like sister hospital that's just a little bit down the road. It's at Bloomsburg Hospital. And there you're part of the TY residents as well. So we kind of incorporate in with the TY program over there, which is actually really nice. It's a smaller hospital. but that means you get a lot of one-on-one with attending. So unlike a lot of other places where you're rounding with a lot of other residents at the big hospitals, we actually get just personal time with attending. So on my urology rotation, it was me and the attending, and they sit there, explain things, show you things. The attendings there, something that a lot of people don't speak about, are all very independent of us. So they don't need us there to actually do their jobs, which as a resident or a medical student applying, not something I even considered until I got there and realized how big of a deal that is. So if you're trying to use Epic, have some issues, the attendings actually know how to put the order set in, how to do that, and then can teach you. So it makes for a lot more easy transition in that they are able to provide assistance and help and teach along with being able to, move on, do things. So it's a different vibe. It allows for a lot more like individualized learning. That being said, I'll say probably one of a really experience. I got general surgery my first year, my first rotation, and it was an eye opener a lot, but some of the nicest, most personable general surgeons I've ever worked with, and that's saying a lot. So it's definitely made for a very positive experience coming into residency, trying to figure all this out. We get to work, like I said, with the other transitional years. So we work with students that are or residents that are going into uh, ophthalmology, radiology, as well as just general TYs that are applying into other programs. So we kind of get to interact with them, see just a variety of educational backgrounds and different teachings. And a really big benefit to the first year is that we don't have any call first year. So something also that's very nice that a lot of places don't necessarily have, but it's a nice little benefit unless you get used to it. Now, moving on to years 2 through 4. So PGY2 year, we start doing most of our inpatient rehab. We're at an Encompass hospital, which is kind of unique, where Encompass is its own entity. You probably have seen it at many of places across the US. They partnered with Geisinger to provide the care there. So it's actually a standalone little hospital right next to the Geisinger. You can walk from one to the other. That being said, it means that we get to use two different EMRs, which is a very interesting experience as well. And it's owned by two different companies, so you get to see different processes through how both of them work and get to interact on both sides of that. We do heavy focus on inpatient rehab starting PGY2, which I'll get into later as we go through the actual academic years. But as you go through years 2 through 4, you kind of wean off more inpatient and focus more on your electives and outpatient, more things that apply and getting you ready for fellowships if you're interested in that. Really big is our sports medicine program. So our PD is sports medicine trained as well. So very high into the sports medicine. And don't mind my cat kind of dropping in the background there, being nosy. Um, we get to do a lot. We have two colleges nearby as well as several high schools. So we get a lot with Bloom University at Susquehanna University. And I think Breckenridge, there's another um, program that we deal with as well.
Bucknell.
And that gives us a lot of hands-on experience with just several universities that are in the area for all the different sports coverage. Um, I'm not sure if it's nationwide, but at least for here in Pennsylvania, pretty much all of the college and high school football varsity, at least, have to be covered by physicians. So all the games that we have across the state are being covered, and a lot of them by residents as well. So you get that opportunity later on to cover a lot of the high school games, which is really cool. We have Hanger Clinic nearby, which does a lot of orthotics and prosthetics. So it's nice to have a dedicated team there that actually does custom fits. And we get the opportunity sometimes to go over there and see all the special equipment that they have, how they kind of tailor what they do to different patients, and how they fit, pediatrics all the way up through adults and do all that. For our VA rotations, very hands-on for the VA. They get to do lets you do a lot of stuff. So you get a lot of hands-on learning there, a lot of interventional pain procedures as well as EMGs that you get. Consults are going to be at the main hospital, so we get to get the experience of seeing what it's like to do consult service as well, how to get a inpatient a medical patient accepted into a rehab hospital, and then kind of the hoops you have to jump through, which is really important to know as a rehab physician of important lingo, important things to have in the notes, and important physical findings that you need to move somebody and get them accepted with insurances and all those headaches you have to deal with. EMGs we do a lot with neurology and the outpatient clinics well as other physicians. So we get to get a lot of EMG practice. We do have a pediatric physiatrist as well on board. So that's nice that we actually get a lot of hands-on for pediatrics, which is kind of hit or miss depending on where you're at. So that's nice that we can offer that as well. Again, general outpatients and a ton of elective blocks. We're very flexible on if you have a interest that you want to be into, we try to get you in early and get you in the right spots to get the education that you need for all that. So call schedule, like I said, nothing PGY1. Starting PGY2, we start with 8 weeks and then we cut down to 5 weeks and then 2 weeks as a PGY4. So we kind of tiered it that you get a lot of education early on, get you comfortable. As you get more comfortable, you do take less and less call, but you're also going to be responsible for, the upcoming people to make sure that everyone's taken care of. So it's a really nice structure, allows for a lot of like top-down support, as well as for just learning on your own and, becoming an independent physician. So a lot of good support there. Greg is actually on his first call shifts now, so he can speak on that a little bit on how he's doing.
Can try if there's still an echo. No echo. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm on call right now. So, like Joe said, we don't do call our first year. Call here starts Friday through the following Thursday afternoon. As you can see, I'm home and just taking anything that comes in as as the nurses see fit. And I've only had to go in once and it wasn't too bad. So yeah, it's a great setup.
This is your 540.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll speed up here and can I get going on? All right. So for resident wellness here, there's definitely a lot of opportunities that we have. So a lot of ways to unwind. There's a lot of hiking, hanging out with PM&R. So we do the resident retreat, which is really great. We can hang out with our PD and other staff, kind of get it together with everybody. A lot of local stuff around. So there's breweries, there's trivia night, local events, there's the Bloom Fair, farmers markets, all sorts of stuff around. Nearby cities that are within easy drives. Typically, we have weekends off as well, so that allows us to travel, do more things. And again, work-life balance is fantastic. We also have the resident auxiliary group, which is great if you have a significant other, spouse coming in, family. They're really good about trying to set up support networks and things like that for everybody. And then education, we have didactics Wednesdays, 1 to 5, a lot of guest lectures from different specialties. We have a yearly curriculum that kind of cycle through and get everything ready, as well as board reviews, oral practices that we started up, practicing mock boards from PGY1, trying to get everyone ready. So we're going to be very well prepared for boards. All the attendees kind of come up and help us out with all those as well. A lot of ultrasound practice. So we get a lot of hands-on with ultrasound through sports, physical exams, things like that. So we're all very well versed by the time we graduate on all those physical findings and ultrasounds. And then mentorship. We're all paired with PGY3s from the beginning, and pretty much a lot of flexibility to help each other, a lot of upper resident supports, things like that. So we definitely are a big cohesive family that try to help each other out. The academic chief really tries to make sure that everything's set up and ready to go and keep moving forward. So it's nice to have all the support that we do. And that's it on our side. Follow us on the Instagram, a little shameless tag there. So we have a lot more pictures and things that get posted up on there. But I'll open it up for any questions if Sarah has anything she wants to add as well.
There's a couple. Oh. So somebody asked about the minimum step 2 score. Greg says, like we said, there's no minimum. We evaluate everybody pretty holistically. I am not sure about either of the visas, if you guys happen to know.
And not too sure about the specific visas. We do have a couple international students, so we do take international students for sure. As far as reapplicants, definitely open and love any sort of candidate. As Joe had mentioned, we are now increasing the class size to 4, which means that we are going to be actually filling a PGY 1 spot. So Sarah's class, they're going to get an additional resident. So that's going to be an out of the match for an advanced position there. Any other questions?
Two-minute warning.
Sure. The program coordinator, we can put you in touch with Eric Weaver. Is there, can we provide an email, or can you give us an email? We can shoot you his contact info. I don't know the best way to do it, but. Okay. Sure. What other questions we got? Alrighty. Darn it. It's Geisinger, but that's okay. That's the email of another applicant, so I can answer it regardless. I was a medical student and did an audition rotation here. Sarah also did one as well. So good experience overall. Our program is really flexible. Our program director, Dr. Rosa, is awesome. Major advocate for us. I'm mostly interested in doing procedures, and you get a ton of hands-on procedures early on in your residency, even intern year, which is great. You also moonlight here doing sports medicine, so sports coverage. I'm already starting to cover my own team as a PGY2 independently, which is great. So, they pay you for your time and travel time, which is great. So you get a lot of really good hands-on procedural learning, sports learning, and then just great all-around faculty and educators. So I like the rural aspect of it. I'm really into that. So that's, coming from Philadelphia, this is where I wanted to move to. So that's it. I think that's it from us, guys.
Well, thank you so much.
Mhm.
Excellent presentation. Really appreciated getting to know your program.